Okay, good day. So we're going to talk about yung leases. So straight to the point na tayo. So before we begin yung answering yung mga problem solving dito, gusto ko lang malaman nyo na mayroon ang pag-usapan natin dito yung dalawang klaseng leases, yung sa lessee, accounting, and dun sa part ng lessor. Yung lessee siya yung umuupa and yung lessor siya yung nagpapaupa. Now, under dito sa lessee accounting, meron siyang yung bang tinatawag na finance lease. No, so pagka siya na yung umako ng depreciation ng asset and meron siyang option payment at the end of its term, then that is a finance lease. Finance lease, parang fini-finance niya na yon para kumbaga para bang asset niya na in a way. So this is not an operating lease, but this is a finance lease. And yung sa lessor accounting naman, ganun din. Could either also be a finance lease kasi sa kanya the ownership belongs to him. Sa lessee accounting, pwede rin yung finance lease na yon kung at the end of the life of the asset, yung matatransfer sa kanya yung title ng asset. Now, how about yung operating lease? Meron pa ba to? Well, in some cases, meron pa rin. No? Especially kung walang transfer of title. Kumbaga, income yung nadiderive dito ng lessor, okay, from that transaction. Now, without much ado, gawin natin yung lessee accounting. Okay, using an example. So I'm just going to present this. Ayan. Okay, so ang ating own version ng ebook. Okay, ebook by Valix. Okay, so ang hinahanap dito is yung natin konti. Ayan. Ang hinahanap dito is yung nandun sa baba, yung requirement is prepare journal entries on the books of Overland Company. Okay, for 2019 and 2020 in connection with the finance lease. Overland Company is the lessee. On January 1, 2019, Overland Company closed a lease. Yan natin content. Yan. Gusto may konting music para medyo ganado. Okay, so on January 1, 2019, Overland Company closed a lease contract for newly constructed terminals and freight storage facilities. So itong nililease yung sa terminal at mga freight storage, no? Okay, malamang sa logistics to. Although the terminals have a composite life of 10 years, the lease runs for 5 years. Okay, so ito yung life nung lease. Although 10 years yung yung composite life niya. With the transfer of title to the lessee upon expiration of the lease. So this is considered as finance lease kasi may transfer of title. The annual lease payments is 1 million payable at the end of each year starting December 31, 2019. So end of the year raw ang payments. The lessee must also make an annual payment of 75,000 for taxes and 125,000 for insurance. So i-expense natin ito. Okay? Yung sa taxes and yung insurance kada taon during the life of the lease. The lessee incurred initial direct cost of 150,000 including 50,000 commission paid to the broker that arranged the lease. Ayan. So ika-capitalize natin itong itong direct cost na to. Okay? As an incentive to the lessee, the lessor agreed to reimburse the lessee for commission of 50,000 pesos. So, napapakita natin yan. The contract was negotiated to assure the lessor a 10% rate of return. Yan. So, meron din present value na computation mamaya. The present value of an ordinary annuity of 1 at 10% for 5 periods is 3.79. Yan. Yan ay kung end of the year yung payment, no? Which is sinabi nga dyan. The present value of an annuity of 1 in advance at 10% for 5 periods is 4.17. Yan ay kung beginning of the year yung payment. So, required magjo-journal entries tayo. Okay, so going here dito sa journal entries na to, so may na-prepare na tayo rito. Yan. Tadan, explain na lang natin kung paano yung nangyari. Okay, so dito, no? Okay. Sa ano na yan, so makikita natin, no? Kunin muna natin yung unang transaction. So on January 1, 2019, Overland Company closed a lease. Yan. Newly constructed. Yan. So magiging dyan is yung debit right to use asset. So this is an asset account. Okay? Ang pangalan ng account niya is right to use asset for 1 million times 3.79 kasi yung present value. Okay? Saan ako yung 1 million? Kasi ito yung annual lease payment. Ayan. So ito yung sa books ng ng Lessee. Okay, so yan. So for 1 million, kasi ito nakalagay dyan, yan. Annual lease payments. Ito, natin dyan. Itong annual lease payments na yan, okay, it's 1 million. So kung titignan natin, ito, this one, ito, yan. For 1 million. So multiply this by yung itong 3.79. Okay, kasi yung payment is at the end of the lease, at the end of the year. Okay, so on January 1, 2019, Overland Company closed a lease contract for newly constructed terminals and freight storage facilities. Although the terminals have a composite life, okay. So, a composite life of 10 years, the lease runs for 5 years with a transfer title to the lessee. Okay, so the annual lease payments is 1 million. Yan. Payable at the end of the year. So, 1 million times 3.79 kasi end of the year. Yan. Pagka beginning of the year din, ang gagamitin natin yung 4.17. Yan. So, kunin lang natin dito yung yung account title, no, na right to use asset. Okay, ibig sabihin, use of rack lang yun dun sa lessee, yung paggamit lang ng asset na yun. Okay, so yan yung account title. Under, part yan ng assets. So, kinakapitalize niyan. So, 1 million times 3.79. So, that's 3,790,000. And mag-recognize din siya ng lease liability for 3,719,000. Yan. So this is on January 1, no? January 1 yung date na yon. Okay, na ni-recognize niya yung liability na yon. Nababayaran niya at the end of the year. And yung pangalawa naman, right to use asset. Okay, ito kasing right to use asset na yan. Okay, that is ano magandang music. Ito naman right to use asset na yan. 150,000. Yan yung direct cost. So makikita natin ito yun. Okay, so yan na natin. Ito siya, yung 150,000. Ayun, no? Yan. Okay, so debit, right to use asset. So nakita mo, kinapitalize natin. Okay, dun sa account na right to use asset, which is an asset account. Okay, so 150,000 and credit cash for 150,000. Ayan. Tapos yung next naman is yung Itong number 3 is yung 50,000. Kasi itong 50,000 na to, the lessor agreed to reimburse the 50,000. Sa lessee to. Okay? Na kumbaga, 50,000 commission paid to the broker that arranged the lease. As an incentive to the lessor agreed to reimburse the lessee for the commission of 50,000. So debit cash and credit right to use assets. So kumbaga i-reimburse dun sa sa lessee itong 50,000 na yan. Okay? So out of that 150,000 in-reimburse kasi nakalagay doon including 50,000 commission paid to the broker that arranged the lease. Okay, so as an incentive to the lessor agreed to reimburse the lessee for the commission of 50,000 yon. So, yeah, so ni-reimburse na yung commission dun sa lessee. Okay, kaya natanggap niya yung cash. Okay, so binawas dun sa 150 na binayad ng lessee. Okay, tapos binalik sa kanya yung 50,000. And credit cash, credit right to use asset. Okay, I should say right to use asset. Okay, for 50,000. And then, yung pang-apat na entry is interest expense. Ito na yung sa end of the year. Okay, so after 1 year, mag-recognize na tayo ng interest expense and ng kasi nagbabayad na tayo ng every year ng 1 million. So out of that 1 million na yan, kung titignan natin yung interest, yung effective interest method, so beginning January 1, 2019, ayan. So wala pang payment noon kasi nga end of the year, so 3,790,000. End of the year, may payment na siya, so 1 million. So out of that 1 million, may 10% kasi ito yung implicit rate nakalagay dito sa baba. Okay? The contract was negotiated to assure the lessor 10%. Okay, so rate of return. So that is why 1 million times 10%, that would be 379,000. So yung difference nun would be allocated to the interest. Ayan. So yung present value niyan, ima-minus natin yung present value with yung interest. Okay, so may kita natin dyan. Yan, yung 3,790,000 less yung interest because yung present value pertains only to the interest. Ayan, so i-minus natin yung 700, yung 621,000. Yan. Okay, so ang present value niya by end of the year, December 31, 2019 is 3,169,000. Now, pagdating dito, so ito na yung magiging niya, ito na yung magiging, ayun, so kaya tayo nag-debit ng interest expense for 379 dahil doon nakuha yon yung na yon. Okay, dito sa yun. Yan, yung naka-highlight na 379,000 noong December 31, 2019. Yun namang ito namang 621 doon naman sa portion ng principal out of that 1 million payment. Ayun, naka-highlight. And then yung buong bayad niya is 1 million. So inallocate lang doon sa interest expense saka doon sa lease liability. Itong entry number 4. Okay, now ito naman yung next natin is yung payment ng taxes kasi nakalagay dyan. Okay, so aside from the of course dun sa direct cost, meron pang the lessee must also make an annual payment of 75,000. Ayun. Okay? And 125,000 for insurance. So ito yung annual na binabayaran niya. So debit taxes for 75,000 and debit insurance for 125,000 and credit cash for 200,000. Yan. Okay. Alam nyo kasi itong nire-renta niya yung parang sa logistics eh. So malakihan to eh. Kaya malaki rin yung gastos. Okay? Although finance lease siya, considered as finance lease kasi meron siyang option na mapapasa kanya yon yung asset na yon. Okay? At the end of the asset's life. And then the next one, since this is considered as finance lease, so Therefore, mag-recognize tayo ng depreciation. Okay? Kasi pagpa-finance lease, parang ina-capitalize mo yan. So meaning, parang asset mo na rin yan. Okay? So kung may asset ka, especially yung mga equipment na yon, yung constructed terminal, saka freight storage, yung mga bodega, okay? Yung ano na rin, yung lessee na rin ang nagde-depreciate doon sa asset. Okay? So debit depreciation for 389,000. So ito yung ano niya, yung pinaka ano niya, yung depreciable value ng asset 389 3,890,000. Paano nakuha 'yon? Okay? Okay, yung ano ito yung this is the this is 1D. Ito yung account kasi, right to use asset. So, ito yun, una nag-ano siya, nag-debit siya ng 3,790,000. Yan. And then, nag-ano siya dito. Yan. Bakit ang salsa, punta natin. Hindi type. Pagandahan mo naman. Relax lang. My God. Okay, so natin mga okay. Okay. Mga house music. Okay, so ito yung ano. Yan. So makita natin dito yung right to use asset, meron siyang carrying value na 3,890,000. Paano nakuha 'yon? So dinebit natin una yung 3,790,000, tapos nag-debit tayo yung direct cost na 150,000. Okay? So nagbawas naman tayo doon ng 50,000 yung ni-reimburse sa atin. So therefore, meron tayong carrying value na 3,890,000. So ito yung basis ng depreciation expense. So puntahan natin ulit yung depreciation. Ayan, so 3,890,000 divided by 10 years. Kasi ito yung life ng asset. Yan. Okay, ito yung composite life ng asset, which is 10 years. So, yan. So, this is 389,000 and credit accumulated depreciation for 389,000. And then doon naman sa yung sa next year, 2020, okay, so hindi na natin uulitin yung mga itong number 1, number 2, entry, saka number 3. Diretso na tayo sa number 4 kasi every year nagbabayad ng interest expense. At ngayon naman, 316,900. Paano nakuha yon? Ayun, no? 316,900. Ito yung value ng interest nung ikalawang taon. Okay, so 3,169,000 times 10%. Ayan, so that is 316,900. So ililas natin dun sa annual payment ng 1 million, so makukuha yung principal na 683. So merong present value na 2,485,900. Yan. Okay. Nung December 31, 2020. Yan. Okay, so take note of those dates, ha? Okay. And then, so after nun, yung so debit interest expense, so 316,900. Debit lease liability, ito yon 683,000. And credit 1 million. Yan, kasi every year nagbabayad siya ng 1 million, no? Yung lessee. Okay, para dun sa kanyang finance lease. Tapos bayaran natin yung taxes na 75,000 and insurance na 125,000. So meron for 200,000 yon. Okay, so lagyan natin dito na pala siya doon. Okay, so then yung depreciation niya, straight line, using straight line, so 389,000 pa rin. Okay, 10 years. Okay, so ayan. So tatapos na tayo doon sa doon sa pinaka requirement niya, which is yung yan, yung journal entries lang. Ayan. Okay, so yung next naman natin yung para dun sa lessor naman, lessor accounting. So puntahan natin yung problem na yon. Okay, so this is so this is 13-2. Yeah. Ito naman yung sa lessor. Okay, so ano nga natin to? Galing na natin yan. Para hindi malito dito. Okay. Now, dito naman, dito naman sa lessor, yan, siya naman yung, on his point of view naman to, siya naman yung nagre-record ng, ng transaction. Yung kung kanina, yung lessee nagre-record ng transaction, dito naman, yung lessor naman yung nagre-record ng transaction. Okay, so tignan natin to ha. Okay. Yan. So, on January 1, 2019, Vim Company purchased an equipment for 3 million cash for the purpose of leasing it. Okay? So, ililist niya to, no? Okay, so the machine is expected to have a 10-year life from the date of purchase. Yan. On April 1, 2019, so after 3 months, the equipment was leased to a Loisa company for a 3-year period at a monthly rental of 40,000 payable at the end of every month. Additionally, Loisa paid 120,000 to Vim Company on April 1, 2019. So yung lessee nagbayad raw kay Vim na lessor, no, on April 1, 2019 as a lease bonus. This Vim Company paid repairs of 20,000 relating to 2019. So this is an operating lease type. Okay? So ibig sabihin hindi mapapakay Eloisa yung yung na to, yung yung asset. Okay, so parang nirerentahan lang niya. That's why it's operating lease. Okay, so we can take this now. Yan. Ayan. So, i-ano natin. I-share ko ulit yan. Nakuha pa mag-ayos ng buhok. Okay, so ito na siya. Ayan. Kailangan maayos, no? Kasi hindi yung background natin. Ayan. Okay, so may kita natin dito, yan. So, may ginawa na rin tayong sagot dito. So, as we can see here, no? So, ito yung requirement is prepare journal entries of the books of the lessor following the operating lease model. So, debit equipment for 3 million and credit cash for 3 million. Yon. So, ito yun, no? Okay, so kasi ito yung binili niya. Binili niya muna itong na yan, itong asset na yan. Okay. Ano ba maganda-ganda sound dito? Puro naman isa lang ang tono ah. Okay, so konting lang nga. Ayan, so may kita natin dyan, no? So ito yung nung binili nung lessor. Okay, yung equipment para parentahan. So that's why ayan, so debit equipment, 3 million and naglabas siya ng cash o credit 3 million. Now, dito naman, yung pangalawa naman, makikita natin dito on April 1, 2019, the equipment was leased to Eloisa Company for a 3-year period at a monthly rental of 40,000 payable at the end of every month. Okay, so starting nung April, no? So April 30, May 30, June 30, July 31, August 31, September 30, October 31, November 30, and December 31. So 9 months yun. So that's why 40,000 times 9 is 360 and credit rent income. So ito yung natanggap ni Vim, okay, for 360. So like I said, this is let's say an operating lease, no? Okay. And yung pangatlo is number 3 and 3 is debit cash for 120,000 and credit unearned rent income for 120,000. Kasi ito nakalagay, Eloisa paid 120,000 to Vim on April 1, 2019 as a lease bonus. Vim company paid repairs of 20,000. So lease bonus siya, kumbaga hindi pa siya hindi para bang advance 'yan, kumbaga sa mga nagrerenta. Ito yung mga advance payment na hindi pa na-earn 'yon. So that's why meron siyang siya debit cash since natanggap niya na and credit unearned rent income. Tapos yung repairs si Vim ang nagpagawa, so debit repairs and credit cash. And nung sa naman, yung sa rent income, okay, so unearned rent income, okay, for 30,000 and credit rent income for 30,000. So paano nakuha 'yon? So i-divide lang natin 'yon. So unearned income kasi is 120,000. Ayun. 'Yun yung nandun sa taas. Okay? So divided by 3. So every year may income siya dun sa lease bonus na 40,000. So gradually ma-earn na 'yon for 40,000 kada taon. Kasi yung total niya is 120 tapos divided by 3, so that's 40,000. Kaya lang fraction of the year lang. So nung April lang, okay, nag-start. So times 9 over 12, so that's why 30,000. So na-earn niya yung portion na yun. So debit unearned rent income 30,000 and rent income. So mag-recognize niya ng income for 30,000. So dinebit niya na yung unearned rent income dito. Okay, so parang natanggal niya dun sa 120,000. Okay, now yung pang-anim naman is yung itong depreciation. Okay, so the depreciation is 3 million over 10 years. So ito part lessor pa rin yung nag-depreciate ng asset since 10-year yung asset, no? So 3 million divided by 10 years. Okay? Now, requirement number 2 states that compute the rent income of the lessor for 2019. So yung rent income ng lessor is 360 plus 30 yung kaninang na ito yun, no? So meron siyang rent income na 360. Ito yung 40,000 times 9 periods. And yung okay, ayun siya. Ayun siya, yan. Okay, so kaya 390,000. Pero less repairs, of course, yung mga expenses like repairs expense and depreciation expense for 320. So merong net income yung lessor out of that dun sa pinalis niya na 70,000. So para ring typical na nagre-recognize siya ng net income sa isang operations na katulad ng just like is similar to a typical na na business. Okay? Kasi ito naman pinaparenta naman niya, ito yung pinaka-income niya. Okay, now let's go now dun sa meron pa palang isa, 14 dash. Okay, so ito naman, okay, let me just okay, make clear of this na itong isa na to. Okay, so this one is it's actually another so ano naman siya, that is actually that is a direct financing lease. Okay, so direct financing lease. So gawin pa rin natin yan. So wait ka lang dyan, pupunan natin bago siya maging punan muna natin siya, no? Para magpo-produce muna natin yung own version natin ng ebook. Ayan. Okay, so incidentally, this book is credited to the Mr. Financial Accounting himself, Attorney Conrado T. Valix. Yan. So, yan yung okay. Yan. So, actually, he was my reviewer in CIPAR back then. I met him last bago mag-pandemic, 2019. Alala ko noon, nagdaan pa ako sa CIPAR noon. I gave them a Christmas cake. That was December 24, 23, 2019. Yeah. Okay. So, and then after that, nagkaroon ng pandemic. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to iyan na lang natin, no? Kunin lang natin yung pinaka okay, dun sa yan, nasa messenger. Okay, yan, okay, so stop sharing ko muna. Okay, so para makuha natin yung ebook. Okay. So, yan. Yan. This is the most alam nyo ito sa online classes, no. Okay, isa sa mga, kung may mga disadvantage man, isa sa mga advantages is yung bang pwede mong i-share yung material mo, no. Okay. Basta madiskarte lang, konting diskarte lang kasi sa Blackboard din ba pagka face to face hindi mo naman pwede i-share yung Blackboard unless kukunan mo. No? So, hindi pa yun. Okay, so meron din we can look at the brighter side of this. Ayan. So, just like this one. No? Okay, so ang rito, ang requirement dito is prepare journal entries for 2019 and 2020 in the books of Makati Leasing using direct finance lease. So, ito naman, direct finance lease naman to. Okay, so basahin natin. So Makati Leasing Company buys machinery for lease to clients. Ito yung business niya. Bumibili siya ng machinery tapos pinapalis niya sa clients. No? Okay, so malaking business rin yun. On January 1, 2019, Makati Leasing leased a machinery to another entity for 100,000 per year. Okay, so kada taon, 100,000 for 5 years to be paid at the beginning of each year starting January 1, 2019. Yan. So the cost of machinery is equal to the present value of rentals. Yan. The equipment, the economic useful life of the machinery is 5 years with very nominal residual value. So title passes to the lessee at the lease expiration. Makati Leasing is expecting a 12% return on this addition. So this is a direct financing lease. So the present value of an annuity of one in advance at 12% for 5 periods is 4.3037. The present value of an ordinary annuity of one at 12% for 5 periods is 3.605. Now, yung isa in advance, ibig sabihin, beginning of the year. Ito naman, yung isa end of the year, yung 3.605. Now, kailan ba yung payment? 100,000 per year for 5 to be paid at the beginning. So, gagamitin natin yung 4.037 as present value. Okay? So, kunin na natin yung this one. Ayan. So, debit lease receivable, that's 500,000. Ayan. So, kasi 500,000 yan so for 5 years, no? Okay, so 100,000 times 5 years. So that's 500,000. And credit yung machinery. Okay, so credit machinery for 403,700. Paano nangyari yon? So 100,000 times, ayun, 4.03. Ito yon. So, iyon na natin. Okay, so tapos parang i-emphasize natin dito sa ating mahiwagang painter. Okay, so ganyan natin. So may kita natin dito, ito yun. Ito yung na yan. Okay, so ang ginamit natin is yung masyadong hindi ata nakita yung pinaka yan. Okay, so natin, take 2. Yan. Okay, so ang niyan kasi 100,000 per year. Okay, so bakit ganito anemic yung Okay. Oh, anemic na naman. Yan. Black. Yan. Pencil. Oh, huwag ka magluloko. Ay, nako. Sos Maria. Ayaw. Kanino pa ito, Di bale, yun na lang. Nakikita mo naman yan. 100,000. So, i-multiply mo lang yan. Yan. Minsan talaga kailangan mong tiyagain eh. Okay. Cool ka lang lagi. No? Kahit medyo ito naman yan. So, yan. 0.437. So, i-multiply mo lang yon. So, hindi makukuha mo. Ayun. Kaya yun, 3,700. So, this is, yan. So, gusto mo, i-computein pa natin, 100,000, yan, times yung present value of annuity in advance of 4.037. So, magkano yun? Yun na. Yun, sabi ko sa iyo eh. Di ba? Tapos itong unearned interest, ito yung difference ng dalawa. Okay, nitong lease receivable sa yung machinery. So, next is yung debit cash for 100,000 and credit lease receivable. Ayan. Okay, kasi every year, yan, nagbabayad yan ng kada taon ng 100,000. Ayan. So, kumbaga nababawasan yung kanyang receivable. Okay. Pagka first na nababayaran siya. Okay. Yan. Yung lessor. No? Okay, so and then yung next na is debit unearned interest income and credit interest income. So paano pagkuha nun? Yun, 403,700. Ayan. Tapos, yung kanina nakita natin dito, ito yun. So, yan siya. Okay, so now, during the year, nagbayad siya kasi in advance, so 100,000, so magiging 303,700. Now, that 100,000, since 12% yung interest, no, so multiply lang natin dito dun sa present value. So, yung ano na yan, itong yan, so nakabase siya dun sa present value. So times 12%. So yung 33,444 pertains to the interest. So less mo dun sa payment and then makukuha mo yung balance nun 63,556 para dun sa principal na ibabawas natin dito. Okay, so para pag tinignan natin dito, makita natin, ayun, so 303,700 less 63,556. Okay, so meantime, ito yung ano niya, ito yung unearned interest income niya. Sabihin, na-earn niya na yung portion nito, yung 36,444. Ayan, so in credit, interest, income. Tapos yung on January 1, 2020, debit cash for 100,000 and lease receivable for 100,000. And then nung December 31, yun ulit, so debit unearned interest income yung para naman dun sa January 1, 2021 and credit and interest income for 28,000. Okay, 817,000. Ayan. So that's about it, no? Okay, so yun lang yung para dun sa 2019 and 2020 using direct finance lease. Okay? Yan. So ito yung sa libro ng of course ng Lessor. Yan. Okay. Any suggestions or comments, no? It's welcome. So God bless and stay safe.